do any day of the week. This is my kind of version of a butter chicken.
Ah, this Jamie version of butter chicken. Not traditional. Okay. Okay, Uncle Roger, go easy on him. Won't be super strict on all the spices because I know he won't use most of the spice anyway. This is Uncle Roger on easy mode. I just gonna make sure your basic correct.
All of this.
Okay, so yeah. Real quick, if anybody hasn't seen this video, it's worth saying. If you don't want to watch it on the stream today, that's fine. I made a recording of it years ago, which has, by the way, that video is one of my best videos. It has like 2.3 million views. So if you want to see that video, go check it out. That was one of my first reaction videos, and I was a little, well, I was still a little nervous doing react videos. I was trying to be very formal with it. I like restrained myself, first of all, because I didn't want to be, let's say, a little hard on Jamie. So I was a little formal with that video, and I got a lot of comments when I first posted that video, like I was so formal, so quiet, and everything else. And then now nobody says that anymore. I don't know why. Maybe I changed in the videos, but anyway, I'm more relaxed. Came loneliness? You're always too polite. Oh, really? Oh, thank you. Well, some people don't think that. Some people think I'm mean, cruel, horribly mean and nasty. Even worse than Uncle Roger. I don't think so.
This happens in a pan, so it's a super convenient recipe. Let's get that on a high heat, and then I'm going to add 700 grams of fresh tomatoes whole. Essentially what I want to do is scald, char and blacken the skins of these tomatoes.
Butter chicken is North Indian dish that use marinade gravy, which is tomato-based gravy. So tomato correct, but just make tomato puree, no need to char it.
Now,
all right, now, just to keep in mind, if you are going to be making this butter chicken, I have made this butter chicken recipe. I've made others as well. The butter chicken recipe from Chef Ranveer is fantastic. And his recipe I've actually modified to make it a little like spicier as well, because it is spicy, but I add more spices to it. Excuse me. And if you're going to be using cherry tomatoes, a lot of cherry tomatoes are sweet. So they're a little sweeter, especially the red ones if they're over-ripened. So that's fine, because you don't need to add more sugar to it at the end, but you're going to need a lot. At home, I use plum tomatoes, Romas, because I get the most like bang for my buck out of them. I get the most that I can to use them. This recipe, I'll tell you a little about it a little later on, because this is one recipe I'll never forget, I'll tell you. Huh? But I won't spoil that for you.
at the same time as we blacken these, we're going to do the chilies. Split the chilies in half, and with the tip of the knife, take out the seeds. That's the hottest bit.
Just keep seed in there. Little spice won't kill you, Jamie. Big man like you can't handle small seed.
So in these go. Now...
All right, now Jamie is removing the seeds. Now, why is he removing the seeds? I think they're Thai chilies, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. There's so many different types of chilies out there. In any case, Jamie's adding some, let's say, some green Thai chilies. He's removing the seeds because a lot of people think that this is where all the capsaicin or the spice is held. It's not necessarily. It's actually in the white membrane. So if you want to get rid of the spice, you need to cut out, to clean out the white membrane and the internal, well, and the inside of the peppers. The seeds do have a bit of the oil on them though, all right? And if you don't want your like butter chicken or anything to be very seedy, then it's a good idea to get rid of them. Then again, if you're going to blend this and then pass it, it doesn't matter unless you don't want it spicy. Now, the other option with doing this, instead of adding the chilies, is to add a little bit of chili powder, which is much easier to do, and you can buy it and store it in your cupboard, and that way you don't have to buy fresh chilies. So you can follow this. You can do it with some fresh green chilies. Also, it's going to change the flavor a little bit because the green chilies have a different flavor than, say, the, if I pronounce this right, the Degi Mitch, if I pronounce that right. Forgive me if I don't. I don't speak Hindu. The mix of chilies for the Kashmiri chilies, they're spicy. Now, a lot of people say that, some people say that it's not spicy. The mix that I got from over here from my local Indian store is extremely spicy. So before you add anything, taste it. Yeah? Don't add a lot, but taste it. Because if not, and you go to add a tablespoon, you're going to be sorry in the end.
As these tomatoes get black all over, what you'll notice is naturally the skins are starting to peel off.
Wait, what are you doing?
The skins are starting to peel off.
The tomato dropped already, but he still pretend to put on plate.
Let's get the
All right, and the other thing, I think Jamie's trying to keep this like low calorie because he's not adding any oil to the pan. Nothing, but no oil. And he cleaned that pan because the tomatoes, the little bloody tomatoes, were sticking a little earlier. So he cleaned it. And this original video of his is only 4 minutes long. None of his videos are very long. But if you want to char them, that's totally fine. He's trying to get a smoky flavor because butter chicken is normally made with tandoori chicken. And in the tandoori oven, if you don't know what that is a big, big oven. Well, it's called an oven. It's basically a portable fire pit that they put the chicken in with fire. So with the open flames, it creates the smokiness, and that smokiness is then translated to the dish. Now, if you're not going to be using tandoori chicken, well, then you need, if you want that spiciness, you need to add it. If you don't care to have it, it's not important. But typically, butter chicken is made with tandoori chicken.
last of the chilies on there. Now let them cool down. If you want, you can cover them just to let them steam a little bit. Right, the marinade. Really, really simple.
Oh, and if anyone didn't catch that, the reason why Jamie is covering that with the cloth is to help steam the veggies. Why? Because he wants to peel the skin off. Again, if you're going to be blending this and straining it, you can skip this process. It does save you a lot of time to skip it. Instead of you're standing there, you know, and you're peeling all the little skins off the tomatoes and the peppers and everything. It's a waste of time, especially if you're going to be making it at home. So I would suggest not doing that, just blitzing everything and passing it through a sieve.
Marinade, good.
Bowl or a nice.
You're making marinade.
I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the garam masala.
Correct? Garam masala, correct?
Cloves of garlic and just
Garlic
use a
good.
grater. Look at that. Then I want.
Also, this is a good little trick that Jamie's doing. To mince the garlic, he's using the grater. So keep this in mind. If you want to use like minced garlic for any other dish, pasta, anything, you can use a microplane if you have one. And if you don't have one, I would suggest getting one at home. And I would also recommend on getting the thick one, the wide one that Jamie has, not the narrow one, the longer skinny one. In the kitchen, a lot of, culinary students and a lot of chefs carry like the longer microplane, the narrow one. It fits in the bag pretty easily, so this is one of the reasons. I bought the thicker one when I was in Hotel Arts because it has more surface area and it's easier to microplane things.
A nice.
Yoshisa, what is the difference between microplane and a grater? It depends on the size. So the microplane now, they don't have just like one size to grate. So you can choose different types of sizes and everything. But basically in the very beginning, it was like very, 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 it's a small grater is what it is. It's the same thing. It's just that the openings are much smaller. So you get a much finer grade. A normal like cheese grater, for instance, you'll see that the holes are about this big. And you can use it for things, but it's not going to work as well if you want to get like minced. You're welcome for the clarification. My voice is quiet. Oh, I'm spiking right now. It could be an issue with the stream with YouTube. I'm not sure, but right now in OBS, like my voice is in red and I'm spiking. So if I go over, you're going to hear a static.
Big couple of thumb-sized pieces of ginger. Just take a little
Ginger, correct?
to scrape the skin off the ginger. Then I'll use the same fine grater to grate the ginger. We will see.
Again, a very good tip. It's very handy, a microplane to have. Trust me, if you buy one, it is definitely worth the money. If you're a little concerned on the cost, I would suggest to buy an actual microplane that's made in the US, the actual microplane brand. They're excellent. I've had mine for the past, oh God, I don't want to say that. I've had mine for 10 years right now. So it still works. It still works. I've used it just about every day. So if you get it, you spend 40, 50 bucks on it, you'll have it for at least 10 years of heavy use. Remember, I've used this professionally too. So right now it's dull compared to what it was like in the beginning, but it's worth the money.
Season it with salt.
Salt good,
Two
pepper okay.
tablespoons of lovely yogurt.
Yogurt
When it
correct?
comes to the chicken breast, it's all
Hiya, Jamie. Chicken breast. The marinade, all ingredient correct. Uncle Roger pleasantly surprised. And then you fuck it up by using chicken breast. Hiya. For butter chicken, you want to use leg of chicken. Chicken breast, I think it's gonna overcook. Gonna be too dry. But to be fair, we 1 minute 22 seconds into video. Of all the Jamie Oliver video, this is the longest he go before he fucked up.
I think that's the truth too. So with chicken breasts at home, I use chicken breasts, right? Because I'm not going to be actually cooking it that long. Rada, 10 years, chef, your microplane works better than my brain. Yeah, no, it works pretty good. When I buy any of my tools for the kitchen, I try to buy things that last. So if they don't last, I don't get it because I don't want a cheap piece of equipment that's going to break on me. So that's why all my knives, at least that I use, are German knives. I do have Japanese ones, but they're not meant to be used like every single day. And any of my other equipment is basically heavy duty because it needs to be, it needs to work. But in any case, with the chicken breasts, you can use chicken breasts. I use chicken breasts at home. Just don't overcook the chicken breast. If you marinate the chicken before, like Jamie's doing, you need to marinate it more than 10 minutes. But if you do it for like a couple hours, it isn't so easy to overcook the chicken breast. And if you use leg meat, it'll be tastier. But keep in mind, leg meat is a little, you need to cook it because it has a lot of sinew. So if you don't like it, but that's one reason why I don't like chicken legs. I never have. It's too much sinew and I have to take out all the tendons and everything. And I love chicken breast because it's easier. But if you like it, just be sure to cook it. All right. Oh, you didn't notice that I was live. Aye, I'm sorry, yeah? That's what happens sometimes. My phone does it too. Yeah, and if you want to use like another type of bird instead of chicken, then by all means you can. I mean, if you have a chicken that's a little more, salvaje, some more like gamey, a little wild, then that's great. Because keep in mind, chicken today, a lot of the chicken that you get from the store, it doesn't have like a lot of taste to it. If you get one that's more, that's been raised on the farm, that's been eating slugs and bugs, it's it's a little more, tasty. Oh, Miranda, the ads kicked you out. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Right now, I'm not touching the ads. I'm not doing anything with them. Butter turkey? Turkey. Quail. Yeah, quail. The thing, I love quail. Quail's tasty. The problem with quail is you don't get much meat off the bones, honestly. They're teeny. You don't get a lot of meat off of them. You have to eat like 2 or 3 to make up for one chicken breast, but you could try other types. Turkey, I wouldn't try. Turkey dries out too much. Oh, James, if you're related to Scottish noble clans... Hey, funny, by the way, I do have Scottish blood, and Irish. Let's see, my great-great-grandfather was Hoth. The way that he spelled it was Hoagth, I think. He was illiterate when he came over to America. And he came over to America when he was like 12 years old. This was like decades ago. This was around the turn of the century. So... with his side of the family, I think that I'm Scottish. I'm not sure. But it's very difficult. I've done like ancestry and everything, but it's difficult to locate everything.
thickness here at this fat end than this part. Start to score it. About 1/2 centimetre to 1 centimetre now thick. This will allow that lovely marinade to penetrate quicker.
Score okay. You can chop to pieces also.
Wow. He has a point. You can chop it into like pieces. Jamie likes to score everything so it just penetrates the chicken faster, the marinade, and it also cooks faster. Cyan Blue, so your nationality is international? Oof. Well, technically my nationalities are I have 2, legally. Yeah? So I'm American because I'm American. My mom's American. I was born in America. I lived in America all my life. Well, half my life now. Half my life now. And my other nationality is British because my dad is English or was English. He grew up in England. And with the generational thing, I got my British passport. So before the Brexit, it was great because I had an EU passport. After the Brexit, not so great because now my passport is just like the US one. I have to go stand in the non-EU line. Pain in the you-know-what. But for all the other like heritage, like ancestry and everything that I have, it's complicated. It goes back a lot of Celt, a lot of Irish, Scot, Welsh, French. My great grandmother was French Canadian. Her parents were French from France. I have a little bit of Spanish and a little bit of Italian. And then obviously with being French is Frank, so other like Germanic tribes and everything. I mean, it goes way back. Yeah, Brexit was a mistake. Well, a lot of people, I don't want to get into politics, but personally speaking, Brexit affected me in a bad way, and I had to jump through a lot of hoops to keep my residency here. But I know that that was a very tight vote though in the UK. I remember that they were sending pamphlets out to every house on why not to leave the EU and everything. And I remember my cousins getting the pamphlet. And in the end, I think the difference of the vote was only 3%, if I'm not mistaken. It was like very close. And well, I don't know. I don't want to get into politics, but long story short, I wasn't too happy about it because it affected me negatively.
There's no polite way to marinade. Get that into all the little slits and the cuts. I'm going to let that marinade for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes. And by the way, if you are doing this, put on some gloves so you don't have to wash your hands. And if you do put on gloves, then you won't have little bits of food stuck under all your little rings that you have, because this is just disgusting, because then all the food like gets in under the ring. And then you get like bacteria, and then it stinks, and there's, yeah, disgusting.
What? What he say?
I'm going to let that marinade for about 10 minutes.
Marinate for 10 minutes. For butter chicken, we marinate overnight, at least 12 hours. 10 minutes, that's not called marinate. That's just a splash. 10 minutes, the chicken's still alive, it's still clucking. Some people have premature ejaculation, but Jamie have premature marination. Sorry, children.
All right, so you can do an hour. Like 10 minutes doesn't do anything. You're wasting time, you're wasting product. If you do an hour, it'll work because the yogurt will have time to marinate the chicken. And if you haven't tried, any of you, to marinate your chicken with yogurt before, there have been a lot of studies that yogurt actually penetrates the muscle fibers more effectively than other marinades. Now, I don't know how accurate that is, if it's true or not, but all in all, every single time that I've ever marinated my chicken with yogurt, it works. It works really well. CT, mango chutney will make James eye twitch. Yeah, I'm surprised though that Jamie didn't add butter. Well, not the butter chicken. They didn't add the mango well, not the mango chutney. No, what I'm thinking, the chili jam. He didn't add chili jam to this. He was adding everything else but the chili jam.
Right, let's get cooking the chicken. I'm going to get this nice and hot. I'll add a little bit of oil to a pan, and then let's put the chicken straight into that hot oil.
Usually for butter chicken, you want to use a tandoor, or if you're cooking at home, you grill. Not shallow fry like this, niece and nephew. Tandoor is clay oven. You can see it at all the good Indian restaurants. It cooks food full of flavor. Like how Chinese cooking we have wok hei, Indian cooking have tandoor hei.
All right, now this is the oven that I was talking about. So, actually, Josh got a tandoori oven. He got a nice one too. He got a stainless steel one. I don't know how much he paid for that, but when he made his own like tandoori chicken, he got one. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if this is true or not. If anyone is from India and anyone knows a little more about tandoori ovens, what are they made out of? Because I've been told that they're made out of, or the old days, you know, back way in the old days, that they used to be made out of elephant dung. Now, since it's an oven that has to resist heat, it has to be made out of clay. I know this, but in the old days, I don't know what they used. I mean, they used pretty much anything. CW, can you use a big green egg? Big green egg? Big green egg for what? For the butter chicken. The Doomslayer, traditionally it's made of clay. All right, good to know. Cyan blue, I've seen some concrete ones too. Ooh, concrete, ooh, those have to be heavy. Okay, all right, good to know, guys. Thank you for clearing that up. And, boy, actually, I need to get a grill. I don't have anything here. Tandoori oven would be fun to have one. I just have to clean it out, you know, all the ash in the bottom. A little hard.
And I want to get it dark and golden. Let's peel these tomatoes. Just take the skins off and the little stalk. The chilies I'll keep to one side. Hey! Buds, do you want to turn the chicken for me, darling?
Okay, this is what I mean by it's a waste of time. Yeah, you see all those little skins that he's peeling off? It's a waste of time. Just blitz everything and strain it. This is nonsense. You just waste time doing this. I mean, if you're going to be working in like a Michelin star restaurant, you have to do this with everything. All right, that's how it is. But at home, you don't need to waste your time in the kitchen.
Making your kid work for you for free? Uncle Roger, like, that's the main reason Asian people have kids anyway.
Cooking the chicken.
Yeah, well, this is what happens when you grow up. I mean, I used to have to work a lot. I'm an only child, so I used to have to deal with everything. Take out the trash, cook, clean, everything. Everything at home. I mean, I don't know what you guys have at home if you make your kids work, but I remember growing up in the 90s and, you know, I had a list of chores to do and I didn't get paid for them.
We're only going to do it for like 8 to 10 minutes. Well done, mate. So look, we've peeled through all of these little tomatoes, and then you can gather all of these little skins at the end, put them in your hand, and in there, that.
No, don't. Hiya, is that how you're making tomato puree? Just squeezing, don't do that. You're giving your whole family COVID.
Your hands, big boy.
Ah, yeah, this video came out during that time. Ah, yeah, I forgot. It's been that long. No, I didn't get paid, guys, when I was like 6, 7, and 8 years old to do the chores, like all the cooking and cleaning or helping everyone out in the house. Yeah, I know, cloud potato. You could put that in a blender. It would work. I mean, you can. That's why I was saying you don't need to be doing this. It's just a waste.
Oh, chicken's looking amazing. Gnarly on both sides and just cooked through perfect. Gnarly on both sides.
Gnarly? Who described good food as gnarly? That's how Uncle Roger described Auntie Helen. Gnarly.
Right, let's...
All right, so Jamie, just so everybody understands this, Jamie is saying gnarly. Now, me, in America, gnarly to me means a little nasty. In England, though, it doesn't. Well, it used to, I guess, in the 80s or something, and maybe in the 70s, it used to mean something like was cool. You know, rad, cool. So, I don't know. It's just one of those terms or phrases that may not be the best, but, don't know. Gnarly, exactly, Trance. It does sound like something a surfer would say. Gnarly, like 1992 Cali, yeah. Zach makes games. It means cool in the 60s and 70s. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I remember growing up watching Scooby-Doo, and I remember Shaggy always saying groovy, and groovy is not used anymore today.
Get that on a board. Now let's make the sauce. It's really, really simple. So use all those pan juices there.
No, Jamie. You don't use the pan juices. When you cook meat, if you use leftover meat juices to cook other things, that's very European cooking. Indian cooking like this, you make the gravy separately. This is not Indian. This is French.
Let's get the tomatoes.
Now, I don't know how accurate like Uncle Roger is with this. Maybe he is like accurate with it, but he is accurate with, at least with French and French cuisine. We do use a lot of the pan juices to make the sauces and to make everything else. If your pan is burnt like this one was, you don't use the pan juices because that will make everything bitter. Angel the Fallen. The worst thing is I was eating butter chicken with naan yesterday. Really? Oof. I had tikka masala just a couple days ago. It was a very good restaurant too in Lisbon. I had some really good food actually in Lisbon. A lot of international food, and it was cheap. Like the tikka masala with rice was only like 10 euros, and it was more than I could finish. Like it was a lot of food. So good prices.
And all the juices into the pan. And now in with 2 tablespoons of that cashew butter.
Cashew butter? What is cashew butter? Butter chicken, we just use cashew nut paste. Cashew butter sound like some organic grocery store whole food bullshit.
Put down pretty.
All right, just so everyone knows, this right here, the cashew butter, ruined the dish when I remade it. I got cashew butter that was 100% cashew butter, 100%, just cashews, just crushed cashews like peanut butter. Cashews have a different flavor than peanut butter. Cashews are used in butter chicken to help thicken the gravy because cashews have a lot of oil with them. And they also add good flavor. But this stuff ruined the dish. Like, I honestly had to toss the sauce. I couldn't do it. It was just disgusting. It was just cashew butter. That's all it tasted like. It didn't taste like anything else. He added garam masala, which is a blend of spices, but he didn't add enough spices, so it just didn't taste like it. It just tasted like the bloody cashew butter, and that was it. Nothing else. And I was surprised because I thought the mango chutney, with the amount that he used, was actually going to overpower it, and it didn't. It was a bloody butter that did it.
Quickly and go ruby red. So I've got 500 mils, give or take, of boiling water.
Wait, no. Don't add water to your marinade gravy. Hiya. You're gonna dilute the tomato taste. This is where Jamie go wrong. He tried to make butter chicken for whole family, but he didn't use enough tomato. So he used water to make the volume more, but you're gonna dilute it. This guy put water in egg fried rice and now he put water in macaroni. Jamie, don't pour water in cooking. Not everything is pot noodle.
And turn it.
All right, Uncle Roger has a good point here. Jamie should have added more tomatoes to increase the volume. 500 ml of water, just let me give you an idea. If Jamie would have added less than 100 ml, it would have already made this watery. So when I made this, I didn't add 500 ml of water to it because it was already too watery. I added less, and I added the same amount of like his bloody little like butter thing that he added to it. In any case, long story short, it still ruined the dish. And if you add that much water to this, you have to reduce it, or you have to add more like cashew butter to it to thicken it. Because if not, it's going to be runny. And when you have butter chicken, you don't want it to be runny. You want it to be like creamy.
to a lovely thick sauce. Just get a fork and just squash all those tomatoes and let that boil vigorously for a couple of minutes. I am going to put some chili in. The question is, how much? I think what I'm going to do is just go...
So little.
If you want to take the edge off the spice.
Wait, what he putting?
Teaspoons of mango chutney.
What, mango, what?
Put like 2 teaspoons of mango chutney.
2 teaspoons of mango chutney.
Mango chut... He putting mango chutney into pan? This all over now. You make Uncle Roger put leg down from chair and you make all our ancestors cry again. Hiya, mango chutney. Mango chutney is condiment. It's condiment. You don't cook it that like cooking ketchup. Hiya. First chili jam in egg fried rice and now mango chutney in butter chicken.
Put like 2 teaspoons of mango chutney.
What you doing, Jamie? Oh, does he know anything about Indian food? Don't just take random shit from cupboard and throw in food.
Now what we can do is get...
All right. Now, keep in mind, yeah? Jamie didn't just add the mango chutney to the butter chicken. He has added it to lasagna. He has added it to the mac and cheese. He has added it to his prawn curry. He has added it to... What else did he add it to? He's added it to everything. And I'm surprised he didn't add it to the bloody egg fried rice. But he loves this product. And when I remade this, I bought the exact same bottle as his. I stopped the video. I zoomed in to make sure it was the right brand. It was the right everything. This type of mango chutney, if you buy it, I've talked about this before. It's tasty. It really is. But with the amount of mangoes and with the amount of extra sugar that they've added to it, every 100 grams is about 51 or 52 grams of sugar. That's how sweet it is. And it's not just sweet, it's spicy on top of that. So you can use it, but Jamie is, everyone can say it's a little hypocritical, but Jamie for years, if none of you realize or know, Jamie has been on a no sugar campaign in the UK. So he was leading the campaign for this to increase the sugar tax and everything else. He was the one spearheading this because he does have a point. There is too much sugar with a lot of the beverages and everything that we eat. This is true. There is. It's in everything, even in the US. But a lot of people have said this, and it is a little true. He campaigns for no sugar, and then in his recipes, he's using something that is pure sugar almost, constantly. He likes it. I like it too, but, for me, it's a little too sweet. And personally speaking, and this goes for everything, if I make pastries or anything, I try to always add the least amount of sugar because a lot of the recipes out there are for a lot of sugar to go in, like cheesecake, for example, or anything. I have a recipe for cheesecake on my channel. It's a delicious cheesecake. If you want to try a New York style cheesecake, check out my video. It's 5 years old now. My videos have changed a lot, okay? I may need to remake them because I don't like my own videos with the music and everything. But in any case, it's a good video. It's a good recipe. So if you haven't tried it, give it a try.
Get that chicken in there, and we want the chicken to be really juicy, right? And I want quite big chunks. I don't want little wafy
Look a bit dry. See what I tell you?
bits. And then I'm going to put this in the sauce.
No, you want bite-sized pieces for butter chicken. If this is bite-sized, who you feeding this to? Crocodile? This not bite-sized. Jamie, I know you talk a lot of shit, but your mouth not that big.
And let that chicken simmer. What I'm going to do now is just spoon.
No, wrong again.
You see how watery this is right now with it bubbling? It's super liquidy. It shouldn't be like this. It should be a little thicker, creamy. It can be a split sauce. So if it does split on you, that's okay. But it shouldn't be like this. It should be creamy. This isn't creamy. And he hasn't added any butter to this as well. If none of you realized, no butter in the butter chicken. Nothing.
The last step here should be butter. You're making butter chicken. This step should be butter. Where your butter, Jamie? Where your butter?
Smooth like butter.
Through the sauce, just a little bit of coriander on the top, and that, my friends, is going to be a beautiful curry. So look, I've got some rice here.
Okay, who cooks rice with chickpeas? Huh? I mean, I've seen it. I have seen it in like Morocco and everything, but just for this, I mean, why? Why add chickpeas to this? It's just like, come on, honestly. You don't need to add the chickpeas. Oh, Jamie.
I've put some
What is
chickpeas in.
And that rice looks a bit wet. It doesn't look very dry. So I don't think you use a rice cooker with this. It happens. I mean, I don't have one at home, so it's okay.
That not in chickpea Middle Eastern, James. Uncle Roger, phone drop. I don't even care anymore. This is too painful. This is not Indian. This butter chicken have everything except butter and Indian.
And then just get it in there. Look at that. Big chunks of meat. Let's get amongst it. So good. That's good to go. Let's feed the family.
If by good to go, you mean good to go in bin, then you correct.
So do you like it, River?
Oh, yes, it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yes!
Can you believe this guy got cookbook? For more Jamie Oliver madness, go check out Hiya podcast because Uncle Roger reviewed Jamie Oliver cookbook. It's a vegetarian cookbook, so you know Uncle Roger gonna hate it already. Link in description. Uncle.
Alright, so we'll watch the outtakes real quick. But, alright, that butter chicken, I'll be honest with you. The taste of it was just the cashew, whatever you call it, the cashew paste. That was it. It didn't taste like anything else, like nothing. I followed Jamie's recipe to a T. It didn't taste like anything else. Now, I'll be honest. I don't want to bash on Jamie. I don't want to pick on him or anything. And just keep in mind, everyone, yeah, Jamie is not just a multimillionaire. He has like 200, 300 million pounds, okay? He is beyond the average multimillionaire. So it doesn't matter what I say or anything because it's not going to change the fact he's already made a good life for himself and he has been very successful and I'm happy for him. The thing is, though, is that a lot of his recipes, I have yet to find a recipe that I like. It doesn't mean that not everybody doesn't like his recipes. I'm sure that a lot of people do like his recipes. It's just me personally. I have always had to modify Jamie's recipes heavily. And if any of you have listened to Gordon Ramsay, Gordon and Jamie have had a feud for a very long time. And, you know, growing up, I didn't know why. I always watched Jamie. I loved Jamie. But I never tasted any of his recipes. Growing up a little later, later on in life, I tried his recipes, and sure enough, not the best.
Roger reviewed Jamie Oliver so many times now, but he keep fucking up. So Uncle Roger gonna keep roasting him. Jamie Oliver is back, and this time he making butter chicken. Jamie Oliver is back, and this time he making butter chicken. Some people have premature ejaculation, but Jamie have premature marination. That's so stupid. Gnarly. Who described good food as gnarly? That's how Uncle Roger described Auntie Helen. This chicken is bite-sized if you're feeding it to alligator. This chicken is bite-sized if you're feeding it to crocodile. Crocodile sounds funny when I say it. Crocodile.
Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, but this was one of those recipes that was just gnarly. Yeah, it's just not that good. All right, so guys, I'll tell you a little about my trip to Lisbon. I don't have any videos or anything. I didn't take my camera with me, so I can't like show you videos and everything about Lisbon. But it was a good trip. I went for about 5 days. It was sunny all except one day when I was there. something that I didn't notice in Portugal, since it's on the Atlantic side of the peninsula, there's a constant breeze. Like, not just in Lisbon, I went to Fatima, I went to other parts of Portugal as well, and there's always like a constant breeze, a cold breeze. And on a hot day, like when it's 30, 35 degrees out, it's really nice to have a cool breeze. Like, I really enjoy it. One thing I recommend if any of you go to Lisbon to visit, bring good shoes because the streets are messed up. Like, a lot of the streets are made of these little, well, like cobblestones, these little white stones, is very slippery, especially when it rains or when it's wet. And it's not just that the sidewalks are a little uniformal. Some of them are very like messed up with roots, upending them, and there are little potholes here and there in the sidewalks. It's a bit of a death trap, so it's very easy to slip. So if you do, take some shoes, take some good ones that don't slip that much, and don't wear flip-flops. I took my flip-flops, and in the end I wore my boots the whole time of the trip because I just didn't want to slip. What else in Portugal and Lisbon? It's a big city, okay? So if you do go to Lisbon, anyone, I would suggest to spend a few days there. The free tours are very good, especially the one in the center and in the older district. There's a lot of history with Lisbon and Portugal. And sure enough, one day, well, the first day, I think it was, the first full day that I was there, we were on the old trolley, the number 28. When you go to Lisbon, you'll see what trolley it is. It's the most famous one. It does a little route through the city. And sure enough, I passed Guga walking down the street. So I was sitting in the trolley on the left-hand side. Guga was on this side. The trolley was going this way. Okay? I was on the left side. He was on the right side, walking this way. And I looked up and I saw this bald guy wearing a black shirt that looked a lot like Guga. And I was thinking to myself, who is that? Is that Guga? And then I saw his wife next to him. And he was wearing a black shirt. I said, no, that's not Guga. And the moment that it passed, he passed, I realized it was Guga. So I didn't shout or scream. Also, there was an older lady sitting across from me. I didn't want to scare her. And I didn't get the chance to jump off the trolley. But I'm kind of kicking myself now because I was literally less than 3 feet from Guga, walking down the street in Lisbon in Portugal, and I planned this trip months ago. And I'm just thinking it actually kind of frustrates me because I've been trying to email him and text him to try to get a collab. I've never heard from him. But the thing is, though, is that what are the chances that he's there and you run into him literally the same day? Like, I didn't know that he was going to be in Portugal, let alone when I planned the trip months ago. And when you go to Lisbon, you'll see how big of a city it is. It is enormous. And then I find out as well that Uncle Roger was in Madeira. He was in Portugal as well. So Madeira is an island that's further south. And to get there, if I'm not mistaken, you have to fly into Lisbon. It doesn't fly into, well, maybe other international places too. So, I don't know. It's just strange. It just is. And I was talking to Vincenzo about it, and he's just telling me, James, you should have jumped off the trolley and chased after him. It's like, yeah, well, that's not a very good first impression, is it? I mean, I wasn't wanting an autograph. I was wanting to get a collab, not an autograph. So, I don't know. In any case, it was an interesting trip. We also went to Sintra. So Sintra is the castle fortress that is just outside of Lisbon. You have to either take the train or the car to get there. We took a car, and the traffic in Lisbon, give yourself time, okay? There are a lot of cars, and the traffic is horrible. So Sintra is a very, very, pretty little fortress. It's around 18th century, I think. It has a bit of a microclimate, and then I saw a little bit of the Portuguese countryside as well. Is very pretty, Portugal. Like really, very, very, very pretty. So if any of you have a chance to go, go. But one thing, if anyone thinks that Portugal is cheap now, it isn't. So be careful with your budget, because now, like a beer, 400 milliliters too, not even a pint, not 500, will cost you around 6 to 7 euros. Okay? Lisbon has gotten very expensive, especially in the center, in the city center. So if you go, just keep this in mind, that you may want to get the day pass, and you may want to get everything sorted. Also, I would recommend, as soon as you land in Lisbon, to get the card for the metro. It's kind of like the UK. You have to buy the card and then you have to charge it. The metro is cheap. Well, cheaper than taking like transit without this. Inflation, yeah, it's inflation. It is. But, well, and if you don't drink beer, just to give you an idea, I mean, wine was expensive too, and beer is 500 mil is around €1.50 in Germany. Where in Germany? I need to go to Germany. That's cheap. My goodness. Here in Barcelona, you can pay 6-7 euros for about 500 mil. But in any case, a full meal, like a plate in Lisbon, in the city center, you'll pay $15-18, or euros, I should say, maybe 20 for a burger. I mean, it's that expensive. So just keep this in mind. Rain, very cheap in Prague as well. Yeah, no, Prague is, but I went to Prague back in 2001, I think it was, and it was cheap. 2000 today, 2025, I don't think it would be cheap. I know 20 euros for a burger is horribly expensive. So just keep this in mind, guys, that if you go with a little bit of money, okay? Because it isn't cheap. Although some things are still cheap. So if you eat a little further out in the city, you can find cheaper places. Like I said, this Indian restaurant that we found was very cheap. Like each plate was 10 euros instead of 15, which is good. So tikka masala, 10 euros, not bad. Butter chicken, 10 euros. It was excellent. Oh, thank you, John, for this, for the donation. Sorry. Thank you very much. I'm glad to hear that it was a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with you guys as well. So, I mean, we'll do another stream this coming week. I don't know what day yet. I need to get everything sorted. I've been a little, well, trying to get everything sorted after just getting back from Lisbon. But I don't have any more trips planned at the moment. But I am thinking about going to a few other places this year because, well, a few easy places, like maybe Poland, because Poland is supposed to be super cheap. And then looking at the blogs and everything, I mean, you can get a full meal for under 10 euros. So maybe. And Chef James World Tour, no. I'd like to do a world tour, but then I can't keep up with YouTube. I don't have anyone else working for me. So it's a one-man show right now. Maybe India, but India would have to be a big trip, Naga. So I'd like to go to India, but it would have to be for a month. Yogesh, I like your videos and my assessment. Oh, thank you. Zach Makes Games, come to Tokyo. I'd love to go to Tokyo. I really, really, really want to go to Japan. Ahmed, thank you for this 6. I don't know what the currency that is, but thank you for this, for the donation. I would love to go to Tokyo though, guys. Seriously. So again, I don't have plans on going to Japan this year, but when I do, I really want to go. I also want to go to see some of the Japanese knife, like artisan makers, because the way that they make their knives, I should actually make a video about that. And then a travel video. Travel videos aren't easy. Like, if any of you, none of you have seen a travel video or tried making a travel video, they're difficult. They really are. The Philippines, yeah, I know, CT, and I would like to go to the Philippines. The problem is, right, is that there are so many places to visit, so many places that I would like to visit, and there's not enough free time to go to these places, well, and money, because some of these trips are not cheap. And then, yeah, I love travel videos. I mean, in the beginning, I do love traveling. I was making travel videos in the beginning. So this is why if I took the videos, I put them incognito on my channel, but I still have my travel videos on my channel. If any of you guys want to see my YouTube travel videos, I can put them back on my channel for you. But I took them, well, I put them incognito just because I think the algorithm was having a little bit of like, you know, like these videos aren't doing good, and it was dragging my channel down. Ancient tech. I have been living in Germany for 45 years and I've never been to Bavaria. Really? Is there a reason why? I mean, don't like traveling, but any reason? I mean, I know that a lot of people don't travel. I remember, if anyone is from the Northwest, yeah, let me know, because I remember living in Friday Harbor, Washington, in Puget Sound, living on the island in Friday Harbor, and I remember meeting these three little old women that our parish priest was at a party or something, and he introduced me to them. I was little, I was a kid, and these ladies were in their 80s, late 80s, and they had never left the island. And the size of Friday Harbor, San Juan Island, let's see, what's the size of it? It's probably the size of Barcelona. Smaller than London, the entire island. Never left the island. So, I'll tell you, I don't know, I couldn't do that. I can't live in one place like for my whole life. Unless, of course, it's a nice place, but I've never had this. I've always moved. Miranda, I loved living in Seattle area for a year. Oh, you lived in Seattle, Miranda? I never lived in Seattle. I worked in Seattle, but I never lived there. I always lived on the peninsula. If I were in Vegas, I'd suggest that he'll collab with Joshua Wiseman in Dallas, or Osmongold if I'm devious enough. Nayar, have I ever been to North Africa? Yeah, I have, Nayar. I've been to Morocco. So I went to Morocco 2 years ago now. I went to Fez and Marrakesh as well as Chefchaouen. And I really liked Fez and I liked Chefchaouen. Marrakesh, not my favorite. It's a bigger city, it's a little too chaotic, and I preferred Fez, I preferred the Medina, and I preferred Chefchaouen. And if anyone hasn't been to Morocco and you're going, you need to go to Chefchaouen. It's the blue city. It is very, very pretty. And I honestly thought that the majority of Morocco was desert, and the northern part of Morocco is actually green. It looks just as like it has vegetation like northern Spain. So if you go, you guys need to go. But just keep in mind, in Chefchaouen in the north, they still speak French because Morocco used to be part of France or under France, but the northern part used to be under Spain. So they do speak Spanish in the north. Iram, blue paint on the buildings. Yeah, they paint the buildings blue, all of them. So if you go into Google and you type in like Chefchaouen, the blue city in Morocco, you'll see all the blue buildings. It looks kind of like Andalusia, the houses in Andalusia, that they're white, just painted blue. Hi, Sean. Oh, sorry. No, I just saw your comment now. Collab with Spanish chicken. Spanish chicken? You mean Spain on a fork? Vermont cheddar. Not saying go there, but Maltese food would be interesting. Oh, it would be interesting. That would be. Yeah, there's a horizontal stream as well. The vertical one. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm doing this on like shorts, and I was planning on doing it on TikTok today, but for some reason TikTok decided to take the streaming key away, so I can't stream on there. Do you think Barcelona has bad traffic? Yes. Barcelona does. If you take a car in Barcelona to get from the, like, let's say the western side of the city, so around the airport side to the north, well, southern side to the north, it can easily take you on the Ronda at least an hour, if not more, depending on the traffic. Like, traffic in Barcelona is horrible, and it's bad even if you're in a motorcycle and a bike. And the majority of people in Barcelona use bikes. They bike. They don't do anything else. And that's just because, you know, it's just difficult to get around the city. Yeah, Barcelona has horrible traffic. Cyan, if Barcelona has bad traffic, hope you survive Indian traffic when you visit. Yeah, I know. Well, a lot of European cities, even in America, have bad traffic. The difference is how aggressive some of the drivers are and how, well, good the infrastructure is. Because in Barcelona, they changed a lot of the infrastructure for the 1992 Olympics. So they built a lot of the highways and everything for this, like the Ronda and everything. And they really need to rethink it right now because there's just too many people living in the city. Vermont Cheddar, when I was a kid in the 90s, they said you better learn how to drive on the sidewalk. I never been though. Oh, how to drive on the sidewalk? I've never seen that. Well, no, maybe I did. When I was in Ireland, I saw some cars driving a little slow on the sidewalk. They were driving back from the pub. Yeah, the pubs are busy in Ireland. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you enjoyed everything today. So today I think it was a little bit of a slower day, but that's fine. You know, we're getting back into streaming. If any of you have any like questions or comments, ask me now. Yeah. And if any of you have any suggestions for what we should review, let's say the next stream or what you would like to see, let me know now. Now's a good time because I'm live and we can interact right now instead of posting comment and hoping I see it. Sean, have I ever tried chicken thighs baked in mushroom soup and veggies of choice of rice? No, I've never tried that. No, I haven't. Kay's cooking is always fun. Oh, no, not Kay. Kay or Jack? Joshua? Maybe we could do Joshua. The problem with Joshua's videos is that Joshua has Super Bam, and every time I post a Joshua video, I get hit. So he doesn't like people reviewing his videos, even if it helps to promote him. No questions. Thanks for the visit this afternoon. Really appreciate it. Oh, you're welcome, Bridget. Faris, have you ever tried Indonesian food? You know, think about it. I've never been to an Indonesian restaurant, but no, I don't think I have actually. I don't think so. Not to mean that I wouldn't like to. I really would. It's just that I haven't been to an Indonesian restaurant. And mind you, I've lived in some big cities, London and Barcelona, and just never had the time. I'd recommend Philip H. Best. You might get the same problem as with Joshua. Really, Banhammer? Well, I don't know. Some streamers are doing this because with Uncle Roger in the beginning, I was having issues, and I think he allowed me to do it because I've never had another issue with Uncle Roger. I think between Chef Brian and myself, we promote Uncle Roger's videos like a lot, and it's helped him quite a bit. So I think he's happy about this. But not all streamers see it. Well, YouTubers see it that way. So, I mean, hey, if anyone here wants to do a reaction video on any of my YouTube videos, I am fully okay with it. There's just two things that I ask. One, at least leave a link to the video, the main video that you're reviewing. And two, just add some information. Because if you take a video and literally repost the same video without modifying it at all, that's not a reaction. That's not doing anything. Yeah, that's not adding to it. If you take a video, like say a mine recipe making butter chicken or anything, and then add your thoughts and your comments and talk, then that's a reaction. And I would actually appreciate it if any of you guys wanted to do this. So please, if any of you want to try a reaction video to see not only how difficult it is to make a video, how challenging it is, but also how fun it can be, then you're more than welcome to. Adeline giggling involuntarily. Radha, react to Uncle Roger reacting to the village cooking channel. Yeah, well, I can react to that one, but I reacted to that video before Uncle Roger did. Like the exact video I picked about 3 months before he did. Yeah, and that's happened a couple times. Sean, please try my dish live. I would like to see you do it and try it. Oh, well, I'll think about it. There's a lot of dishes that I would like to get to make like a cooking video, because I'd love to continue cooking videos, but I honestly don't have all the time. I want to make fish and chips. I want to do this. I want to make filiwa, more paella, maybe other types of risotto, steak. I need to get a barbecue so I can make more steaks. I would love to do all of this, but ¿qué pasa? I don't have a lot of time. Yeah? Because, mind you guys, before I went on holiday, I was posting 2 long videos a week, streaming twice a week, and posting 1 short a day. Now think about that. It takes at least a day to do the recordings, and it takes me at least 2 days to edit each video. Now the live videos, once you get them set up, they're easy, because after this I don't do anything with the videos, nothing. But long videos, recorded videos, take a lot of time to get going, especially with the editing. And if anyone hasn't edited before, trust me, you're in for a surprise. Yeah, I taught myself on how to use DaVinci. Also as well, guys, if anyone does want to get into editing, let me know, because I'll give you some tips right now. Photoshop is good to use for the thumbnails. DaVinci I use because I bought the professional DaVinci Resolve, and once you buy the professional version, you can have it for the rest of your life. So I don't use like Adobe because I don't want to be paying the subscription annually, and it's not cheap. But DaVinci, you can use the free version just until you get going with it. But if you want to start recording in like 4K or 10-bit, video, where the quality of the video is a lot clearer, then you need to get the professional one. Miranda, yes, many culinary schools require work experience before starting. Really? Really, Miranda? Really? I didn't know that. I thought you could go to culinary school like the CIA and then just get a few, the years in, and then get like an apprenticeship in a restaurant. Let's see. Antor, hey chef, I got a couple of questions for you. Okay, I'm 29 years old and just started learning how to cook through YouTube. Oh really? Oh, congratulations. I tried cooking some dishes and honestly it turned out pretty great. I work in the corporate world right now, but cooking is what really excites me, and I'd love to make the jump into becoming a chef. Can you share some tips for switching careers to become a chef? What challenges should I expect along the way? Okay, well, wait, and there's more. And by the way, do you think traveling makes you a better cook? I'm guessing it might open up a new world of flavors and everything, isn't it? Yes, well, all right. So first, Antor, a few things. All right, I made a video on becoming a chef on my YouTube channel. I highly suggest you see the video because I tried to make it as methodical as possible to try to explain the basic questions. So I'll give you like an abbreviation. First off, you're in the corporate world right now, so I don't know if you're in finance or I don't know what you're doing, and I don't know what your salary is, but I would assume that the salary is maybe a little higher than what you will expect as instead of becoming a chef right now. So if right now you're already in the corporate world, you went through and you got your degree, it may be better to stay where you are and cook as a hobby instead of becoming a chef, unless this is truly what you want as a passion. Because you need to keep this in mind. All right, cooking. Cooking takes years of experience, and you will work very hard before you start to climb the ladder. It doesn't mean that 29 is too old or anything. It's not. A lot of people start in their 30s or whatnot. Even Heston Blumenthal started, I think, when he was 35, and then went on to win 3 Michelin stars for his restaurant. So you can start later in life. It's not an issue. Just, you need to keep in mind that you're going to be working long hours. It's best if you prepare now at home, learn the basics of how to Bernoise, cut, slice, dice, julienne, all of this stuff, because there's a big difference between you going to work in a restaurant, let's say a Michelin star right now, as an apprentice for a year, working for free, by the way, for free, just to put that on your CV, on your curriculum. So if you don't want to do that, you need to get going with the experience right now, getting all the knife skills down and learning the basics, so at least you can get a cook position and not an apprentice, because apprentices literally do everything. They do everything and they don't get paid for it normally. But if you want to switch careers, let me reinforce this. You need to take your financial aspects of this into account, because I guarantee you within the next 5 years, you more than likely will not match the salary that you have now. And right now, with the way that the economies are going and everything, the more you make is better. Yeah, it is, because prices are going up constantly. It doesn't mean that you don't need to do it, but just keep this in mind. So hopefully that was a little bit of a long explanation. Hopefully I answered a few questions, but I definitely recommend checking out the video, because cooking is a lot of hours. Ishan, who is my favorite Indian chef? Oof, right now it would have to be Chef Ranveer. Zaxo Botnik, if I pronounced that right. Here in the Netherlands, anyway, so I hope he has a good financial buffer. Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is just one of those things that, I mean, cooking's great, but if you want to get into cooking and make money, you need to pick another career. If you want to get into cooking because you love it, then that's fine. Miranda, get some interns and teach him mise en place. Yeah, that's true. Mayan, you should react to Wide Espade 7 YouTube channel. Oh, thank you for the recommendation. I may. All right, guys. Well, it's already almost 6 o'clock. I need to get going. So hopefully you enjoyed this. I enjoyed it a lot. If any of you have any questions or comments afterwards, comment on my YouTube channel and I'll try to get to you. So until next time, guys, take care. Have a great weekend. And remember, tomorrow I post at the same time on YouTube. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to try to post our collab video with Vincenzo. So be sure to look forward to that and stay tuned. And if you haven't seen any of my recent videos, please, guys, check out some of my recent videos, because every single view means a lot to me and it helps me out a lot. And I do appreciate it. I really do. It takes about 1,000 views to make a difference, but still every view counts and I really do appreciate it. So thank you, everybody. Take care Have a great week, and let me see, in stream. Here we go.